a major escalation has taken place in the Israel-Hamas war overnight. Israeli military says it is expanding its operations in Gaza. Ever since, the area is witnessing heavy bombardment. Amidst all of this, the UN has adopted a resolution that calls for an immediate humanitarian truce. In the latest, Israel said its troops were sent into Gaza on Friday night, and they are still in the field. However, they did not elaborate further on that information. Meanwhile, in Gaza, multiple explosions were seen across the strip as thick smoke covered the skies of Gaza. New footage released by Israeli army shows IDF, the Merkava tanks maneuvering and shooting inside Gaza overnight, including daylight footage from earlier this morning. IDF says they have eliminated the commander of the naval force of the Gaza brigade using fighter jets. The IDF also announced that they have killed the head of the Hamas's aerial array. According to a poll conducted by an Israeli newspaper, around 49% of Israelis do not want the nation to go ahead with the offensive. As per the poll, 29% of Israelis agreed, while 22% were undecided. Now, these poll results contrasted with another poll conducted on the 19th of October that found 65% support for a major ground offensive. Israelis were also seen heading to prayers at the border area between Israel and Lebanon, with tensions between the two nations escalating as well. Taliban's acting interior minister, Sirajuddin Haqqani, has condemned Israel and has called it a crime against the people of Palestine. Saudi Arabia has meanwhile warned the US that Israeli invasion of Gaza could be catastrophic. The US Defense Secretary, Lloyd Austin, has now spoken to his Israeli counterpart, Yoav Gallant. Austin underscored the importance of protecting civilians during the Israel Defense Forces operations. He also focused on the urgency of humanitarian aid delivery for civilians in Gaza. Meanwhile, internet access and the phone network have also been completely cut across the Gaza Strip. Palestinians, aid groups, news and civil society organizations have lost touch with the family and local staff in Gaza. The Palestinian Red Crescent says the disruption affects the central emergency number and hinders the arrival of ambulance vehicles to the wounded in the ongoing strikes. On the other hand, the WHO has said that the organization has lost touch with their local staff in Gaza. Several United Nations agencies also report they have lost contact with their local staff, as most of the communication capabilities of the enclave appear to have been interrupted. Israeli military has said it cannot guarantee the safety of journalists in Gaza. And while all of this is happening, the United Nations has adopted a resolution by a large majority. It calls for an immediate humanitarian truce in Gaza. It is, however, a non-binding resolution and has been criticized by Israel and the United States for failing to mention Hamas. The resolution garnered 120 votes in favor and 14 members voted against. It also witnessed 45 abstentions. Hamas has welcomed the UN General Assembly call, while Israel's ambassador called it infamy. The US also called the Gaza resolution deeply flawed. In other updates, the Israeli military has accused Hamas of using the main hospital in Gaza as a shield for its tunnels and operational centers. Israel's chief military spokesman showed photographs, diagrams, and audio recordings in a press conference that he said showed how Hamas was using the Al-Shifa hospital in particular to hide a variety of command posts and entry points into the extensive tunnel network. Hamas has rejected these claims.